So let's continue to share about the application of VRRP in enterprise. Okay, so we will show how VRRP works and combine use of VRRP and NSTP and the VRRP examination requirement in EI Lab. Okay, so if you want to get 100% real IT exam depth, IT exam latest news, updated exam tips, and the community support, just scan the QR. You can scan the QR code to join the group for more study guides. Okay, so if you want to get more information, you can scan this QR. Okay, we will show so many useful information in this group. Okay, so now as shown in the figure, let's continue to talk about the VRRP. As shown in the figure, so you can see the host use a router as the gateway to access the internet. Okay, so but if the gateway fails, is badly, so all the hosts won't be able to communicate with the internet. So it is feasible to configure multiple gateway devices for redundancy. So if we want to be redundant, can we configure multiple gateway to ensure this? Okay, so the result of VRRP operation is provide a virtual router on the LAN. Okay, so you can see in this example, there are two routers, router 1, router 2 in the LAN. The port IP address of this is the IP address of router 1 and this interface from the router 2. So we configure the router 1 and the router 2 to associate with the same virtual IP address. Okay, so the virtual router use this IP address as the port IP address. So all hosts use this IP address, virtual IP, as the default gateway. Okay, so let's see the basic concept of VRRP. The first is VRRP router. So what's a VRRP router? It means running VRRP protocol, such as router 1 and the router 2. So if you have a router 3, it also belongs to VRRP router. And the VRRP group, it means it consists of multiple routers working together and use the same virtual router identifier for identification. So VRRP is configured on a router's interface, and it also works based on the interface. Okay, and the VRRP group, routers belonging to the same VRRP group exchange VRRP protocol message and generate a virtual router. So only one master router can appear in VRRP group. So it will have the VRRP master appear in VRRP group. Okay, so VRRP router and the virtual router and virtual IP and virtual MAC. So what's the virtual router? So VRP abstract a virtual router for each group. So this router isn't a real physical device. Okay, virtual router is not a real physical device, but it is a logical device virtual by VRRP. A VRRP group will only generate one virtual router. So the virtual router will have a virtual IP. So a virtual router has its own virtual IP address and the MAC address. So the IP address is specified by the network administrator. So if you are if you are configure the VRRP, you can configure the name, you can configure the virtual IP address. When configure VRRP, a virtual router can have one or more IP address. Okay, one virtual router can have one or more virtual IP address. Normally, users use this IP address as a gateway. Okay, it's a virtual IP, and the host will use this virtual IP as the gateway. And the format of virtual MAC is 0000 and 5E00 and 01 group. This is group member. Okay, it is VRRP group. Okay, so it's the MAC address format. Okay, so let's see the master router. The master router is responsible for packet forwarding in a VRRP group. So in each VRRP group, only the master will respond to the ARP request for the virtual IP address. So if the host send ARP request for the virtual IP address, only the master can respond. This is backup. Okay, the backup will listen to VRP message sent by the master router in real time. It is ready to take over the work of master router at any time. So if the master fail, okay, the backup will become to master to respond the ARP request. Okay, so how to choose master and the backup? So it's depend on our priority. The priority value is based on electing the master router and the backup router. The priority range is 0 to 255. So the larger the value, the higher the priority. So if the value are equal, if these values are equal, the interface IP address size is compared. We will compare the IP address. The larger one take precedence. Okay, so how we are so the master router periodically send VRRP message at a certain interval to notify the backup router in the same VRRP group about its survival status. Okay, so how VRRP works? So the default priority is 100. Okay, can you know? So the VRRP priority, default priority is 100. So if the priorities of VRRP router are not equal, we will compare the priority. The higher priority will become the master. And if the priority is equal, so we will compare the port IP address. Okay, the large interface will become the master. So, but if the interface IP address of VRRP router is the same as the virtual IP, so if the IP address is the same as the virtual IP, it will directly become the VRRP master. Okay, because the priority will become the 255. Okay, so let's see the VRRP preemption mode. Okay, so you must know the foundation because CCIE EI Lab also will tested this requirement. Okay, so the preemption mode it's activated by default. So if the backup router activates the preemption function when it finds the master has a low priority. When it finds the master have the low priority learn itself, it will immediately switch to the master state and become master router. So if if the router are a non-preemption mode, so the backup router doesn't activate the preemption function. Even if the priority is higher than the master, the backup can't become the master until the master router fails. Okay, so enable the VRRP backup group in preemption mode. In preemption mode, when the master device status is unstable or the network quality is poor, it will cause the VRRP backup group to switch frequently, causing the terminal ARP table to be frequently refreshed. So to solve this problem, preemption is usually set by delay and confirm that status is stable before performing a master backup switch back. So you can see this is the combined use of VRRP and NSTP. NSTP is an instance of mapping one or more VLAN to spanning tree. Several VLANs share a spanning tree. Okay, for this example shows there are two spanning tree. You can see the instance one including instance one VLAN 10. Okay, VLAN 10. So you can see the instance 2 VLAN 20. Okay, VLAN 20. So there has two instances in this example. So several VLANs share a spanning tree, and NSTP can achieve load balancing. So VRRP. Okay, so you can see the instance 1 can through this path, and this is the instance 2 through the switch 2. So VRRP can flexibly automatically switch gateway according to network topology changes, improving network reliability. So the combination of VRRP and NSTP can achieve load sharing while ensure network redundancy. So whenever the master of VRP is, there is the root of NSTP. Okay. So you can see this is the test point flow of VRP in EI Lab. Okay. So you can see this is EI Lab. This is VRP requirement in EI Lab. So you can read the requirement. Let's continue to see the EI Lab requirement about VRP. So you can see host 1, host 11, and host 12. They link switch 110. It's access switch. And the switch 101 and 102 are belong to the core switch. Okay, so it's the gate switch 101. Switch 101 is the gateway of host 11, and the switch 102. Switch 102 is the switch 102 is the gateway of the host 12. Okay, so let's see the requirement first. For IPv4, we implement FHRP for switch 101 and 102 for VLAN 2000 and 2001. So we use group member 100 for VLAN 2000. Okay, the host 11 is VLAN 2000. And the group member 101 for VLAN 2001. Okay, so we use the first available IPv4 IP address in the subnet for the IP address of the virtual router. Okay, so can you know it? VRRP, VRRP or HSRP or GLBP. Okay, can you know? So for VLAN 2000, switch 101. Switch 101 must be preferred gateway. For VLAN 2001, switch 102 must be the preferred gateway. Okay, these are gateway of host 12. Don't rely on the IPv4 IP address as your tiebreakers. So we can't use the port IP address. We need to use the priority, right? So the role must be determined by explicit configuration on the intended preferred gateway. Okay, use the FHRP protocol that allows the virtual IPv4 address to match the IPv4 address of a member router. Okay, so we know these are require us to configure VRRP. Okay, VRRP. Okay, so you can see solution. These solutions are about this requirement. So, VLAN 2000, we configure VRRP 100 priority, list priority. Okay, we just told what default priority of VRP. Okay, can you reply me? So, what's the default priority of VRP? Okay, who knows this answer? What's the default priority of VRP? I just told you. Okay, so default priority of VRP. What's the default priority? Okay, I just told you. Can you remember it? Okay, can you see? So it's 100. Yeah, it's 100. So it's 100 of VRRP priority. So we configure 105. Okay, so also these are also okay. It's also enable print. Okay, so we just told. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the default priority is 100. Okay, but I just told the preemption active by default. So we also no need to configure this command because it is default command by VRRP. Okay, so it's about our switch 101, and the 102 is similar as the switch 101, but this I just miss the 1, I miss the 5, 105. Okay, it just requires us to larger than 100. It's okay. Yeah. So do you think it's simple for you? Okay. Do you think it's simple for you, or do you think it's difficult? It's difficult or simple for yourself? I think it's the foundation of routing and switching. So VRP is very simple for our EI Lab requirement. Okay. In EI Lab, I think DMVPN is more difficult for CCIE students. Okay, so let's continue to talk about the EI Lab version 1.1 topology. So you can see, this is the topology of version 1.1. Okay, this topic I think everyone is most concerned about. So we can see that this topology is not much different from the old version, except the old topology use VH, but the new version is use CH. Okay. So let's briefly look at some of the requirements of EI Lab. Okay, so you can see the requirement of a new version. So the first part is require us to configure VLAN. So we just need to configure the VLAN, and for forwarding are configured on all switches, and the switch port according to the following tables. So you can see HQ, DC, and branch 3. So this is HQ, this DC, this belong to SP1, branch 3, and branch 4. So branch 3, this is branch 3, and this HQ and DC. HQ and DC. So this part is very simple. We just need to configure VLAN and the trunk according to the requirement. Okay, so let's see the next part. Okay, can you get the demo and the topology? Okay, of course. So if you want to get a demo and topology, you can contact our admin to get a latest demo. Okay, so let's see the next part about layer 2 technology in HQ. So you can see ensure the STP feature are configured on the switches at headquarters according to the following requirement. Okay, so you can see the protocol must support a separate instance for each VLAN. The protocol must support only 3 possible states. All access port must immediately translation to a forwarding state up on link up, and they must still participate in STP. So can you know which STP type should we use? Okay, so according to this requirement, so which STP type should we use? RSTP, PVST Plus, or NSTP? So which STP type should we use? Okay, can you know it? Does anyone know? Okay, so also we can see next. Switch 101 must be the root bridge for VLAN 2000 and 2001, and the switch 102 is the secondary. We need to use the lowest possible priority value to achieve this. Okay, so I want to ask you. So what's the priority? What's the lowest priority of STP? What's the lowest priority of STP? Okay. What's the lowest priority of STP? Okay, we know the default priority is 3. Is this okay? It is this. So the lowest priority is 0. 0. Okay, so switch 101 and 102 must ignore a superior BPDU for the other switches as the case at headquarters, while superior BPDU are received. Traffic mustn't forward on the receiving port. Okay, so we need to configure root BPDU. Okay, so let's see the next part about first hop redundancy protocol in HQ. So, for IPv4 implement HWRP on switch 101, 102 for VLAN 2000 and 2001 according to this requirement. So you can see these are about our FHRP. So use a protocol license hello message by using multicast address of this. This is the multicast address and the support 4096 group. Okay, so can you know? So which protocol of this? HSRP, VRRP, or GLBP. Okay, which protocol belong this requirement? Can you know it? Okay, who know this answer? Okay, who know this answer? Okay, so according to this requirement, so GLBP, HSRP, or VRRP, which is belong to this? VRP, right? Okay, so so you can think about this by yourself. Okay, so if you want to know the answer, you can contact our admin to get a demo. So, group members for each VLAN must match the respective VLAN ID. Switch 101 must be active and have a priority of 10 above the default. Okay, default priority. This switch 102 must be standby and have the default priority. So we don't need to configure the priority of switch 102. Both first hop gateway switches must transition to active if their priority becomes superior. Both first hop gateway switches must generate ARP for the VLAN by using the MAC address of their respective interface. So this CP request received by both first hop gateway switches must have the circuit identifier added automatically to the message. Okay, so based on the above, based on the above of DOO requirement, have you discovered it? In fact, there is not much difference in routing and switching between the old and new EI Lab. So I want to ask you, so have you took part in the old version of CCIE EI Lab? Okay, have you took part in the old version of CCIE EI Lab? Okay, if you have took part in, you can reply 1. If you didn't take part in the old version of CCIE EI Lab, you can reply 0. Okay, let's interact. Let me know your situation before. Okay, so have you took part in the old version of CCIE EI Lab? Okay, so why I want to know this situation? Because if you have the foundation of the CCIE, the old CCIE, if you have the foundation of the old CCIE, the new version, you will prepare the new version very quickly. Okay, because the routing and the switching of new version is basically the same as the old version. Okay, so let's see the design question. Okay, so this is design. So it's design question. So you can test it by yourself. So you can test it by yourself. Okay, so so the above I share are all about our CCIE new version. So if you want to get latest CCIE EI Lab version 1.1 Lab demo, so please type Lab demo. You can type Lab demo in the comment room. Okay, so I just saw many friends want to get the demo and topology. Okay, so if you want to get a latest demo and the topology of version 1.1, so you can contact our admin and join the group to get the free demo. Get the demo for free. Okay. So we have talked a lot about CCIE EI Lab exam topics and the technique on preparing for a CCIE Lab. I think you must must wonder how to prepare CCIE Lab exam in less time. So also, if you want to boost salary, it is the best time to choose the SPOTO CCIE Lab package, which can help you pass in 3 months. So now let me tell you the passing secret with SPOTO step by step and our EI Lab service package. Okay, so EI Lab has 2 modules, including design and DOO. So design is very simple for SPOTO students because we have completely information to provide students. This part won't focus on the introduction. We mainly look at the DOO. So SPOTO has clear practice standard for students. For example, it is recommended to complete DOO within 3.5 hours, but in my advice, I will advise you to achieve DOO within 3 hours. So, for example, routing and switching each needed to be completed within 105 hours. 105 hours. Many students find it strange that DO has 5 hours, while our requirement so high because candidates will experience various failures in DO due to nervousness, unfamiliar test environment, so which may lead to various failures in DOO. Okay, so you must follow my standards strictly, and I will give you an effective test preparation experience. Okay, so secondly, you can see this is the RAG environment. So we provide RAG environment is very sufficient. You can flexibly arrange your spare time to practice through the cloud. So the most important thing is that our practice environment is basically the same as the examination room. So don't worry about your practical difficulties. Our practice environment will separate routing, switching, SDN, and finally we'll have a fusion experiment. So it's a routing and switching, and this is SDN practice interface. So this practice environment is 99% identical to a test room, so you can play your own timetable. It's very flexible. And when you meet exam standards, we will help review your practice process to ensure the quality of your practice. So the overall RAG practice environment is very convenient, and the main environment is almost the same as the test room. Okay, so here I would like to briefly introduce our service process and what you can get if you choose our CCIE Lab training course. So first of all, we provide one-to-one service at a VIP level and distribute lab material. Solution are the same as the exam content, and provide RAG access. So you don't need to install any EVNG in your computer. So if you encounter any questions, any difficulties, we will help you. So we will arrange for you to test the quality of practice at each stage to confirm that you meet test standards, and arrange sprint plan for you. Matters needing attention in the exam. We will make sure to pass the CCIE in one pass in the exam. Okay, so here is the CCIE Lab service package. You can take a look at. So we provide 3 months service time. So you will have enough time to practice. So you can see it's including material and the RAG, physical RAG and the virtual RAG. So I want to emphasize this for you. I want to emphasize RAG for you. I know the other vendor won't provide the routing and the switching RAG for you. It's really they will require you to install EVNG in your computer. But from SPOTO, we can provide no limit hours for you to practice routing and switching, so it won't consume your local computer. Okay, I know other vendor, they won't provide this for you, and they also provide fewer physical racks for you. They just provide 60 hours for you to practice the SDN. So you can always believe SPOTO. You can trust me. Okay, so the package is really benefit for you. If you want to take part in the CCIE, I think SPOTO is the best choice for you. Okay, so because we have prepared the environment for you, so it's no need to consume your local computer. Okay, so also we will provide the tutor service, and the most important, we will provide the latest lab exam feedback. It's from our latest candidate. Okay, it's the real information from our candidate in the examination room. So if you have mastered this lab exam feedback before taking the exam, it will help you to avoid any difficulties during your exam. Okay, so it's very useful, but it's only for our SPOTO students. Okay, so these are very useful information for you. Okay. So this is a study plan for the exam preparation. So you need to master the DOO and the design. So you need to master routing, switching, SDA, SD1, and the programming design. Routing switching, you need to complete it within 3 weeks, and SDN 1 month, programming 1 week, and the design is very simple. It's only 3 days. So you also can practice our rack at any time, anywhere, and no need to consume our local computer. Okay. So you can see these are my exchange experience with CCIE students. So first, you should familiarize yourself with and understand the lab topology and the requirement, understand and provisioning environment for each device, and lab topology data analyze. Practice the lab content in the module, analyze routine data clearly. Identify weak points through module exercise, summarize the fault and the problem you encounter, improve the proficiency. So practice the lab version without referring the solution, and the quality inspection. So these are my exchange experience with CCIE students. So you can prepare CCIE according to these tips. Okay, so these are feedback from other candidates. You can see the solution matched exactly. Design and DO were the same. All questions are the same. Solution is stable, so solution is correct. So if you want to take part in the CCIE, if you want to take a CCIE, you can choose SPOTO. Okay,